me why you thought it was important for members of the European Parliament to visit Taiwan at this time.
Well, first and foremost, I am a member and coordinator for my group for the INGE committee. The INGE committee focuses on foreign interference and disinformation. And because, well, so to say, I became over the past few years quite an expert on this topic. I do know how Taiwan is fighting foreign interference, of course, especially from the side of China, and what kind of legislation, acts and task forces it has. And I thought it would be very, very inspirational to learn from Taiwanese people how they tackle this issue. And by the way, this visit just confirms this assumption. We are learning so much.
Well, that's wonderful. And we've seen a growth in EU support for Taiwan. I mean, just recently, you passed a Taiwan report calling for stronger ties for Taiwan. Why do you think that the EU is beginning to be much more proactive in engaging Taiwan and showing support for Taiwan?
Well, I think that there are a couple of reasons for that. One of them, well, necessarily, is the Chinese increasing aggression towards, of course, not only this region, but also the EU and its member states. Me being from the Czech Republic, I know all too well direct threats from Chinese ambassadors to our representatives. And of course, being an MEP also, I know several of my colleagues, some of them with us in Taiwan today, that are blacklisted by China. That is definitely not a diplomacy that the EU can, answer to in any way. That is very aggressive and unacceptable. And this only, let's say, helps the EU to move towards the democracies which are in this region, which is, of course, Taiwan.
Well, that's wonderful. It's great to see EU support for Taiwan growing. We definitely need it. And I did see actually on your personal press release saying that perhaps we should start talking about a One Taiwan policy. What did you mean by that?
Well, every time we talk about Taiwan in European Union, we talk about the One China policy so that we, respect Chinese stance so that we don't cause any escalation. However, in this we miss, but what is our stance towards the island itself? What is our stance towards Taiwan? What is our Taiwan policy? Maybe it's not the best term, One Taiwan policy. I just thought it's quite catchy and a little bit twist, on the One China policy. But really, it is about what we want with Taiwan, from Taiwan, and what is our relationship. And I think we are really establishing it here. And the EU-Taiwan report that we approved like 3 weeks ago also sets it up that we want investment treaty, and we might even want a free trade agreement in the future. And I would really like to see more statements from the EU about what we want in Taiwan and with Taiwan.